Newcastle United 2, Liverpool 3. How? How? How have they done that? How have they played that crap for that long against 10 men and they still find a way to win that match? And the reason is because they're just that good. I'm scratching my head, I'm rubbing my face, I'm sweating in this room in disgust, but also admiration of how Liverpool have just pulled that off. Because it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. Newcastle United absolutely stuck it on them up until that stupid red card from Anthony Gordon. But Liverpool just always find a way to win football matches. And that is why they are favourites for this league. Shit defending. Some poor decisions. Florian Wirtz not there. Salah. Mo Salah. I seen this guy do nothing. Nothing for the whole game. The whole fucking game. He done absolutely nothing. Still gets an assist. He's the most inevitable player in world football. I've never seen anything like it. Honestly, I've never ever seen anything like it. And you know what? Arne Slot deserves credit. Young Rio Ngamoa, what a day for his family. 16 years of age. What is he, 17 in 3 days or something like that? Unbelievable from him. Unbelievable from him. The substitutions that Slot made, you know. I'm not even going to say that they were actually all great because Liverpool for most of the game didn't have any control of that game. No control of that game whatsoever. They were poor defensively. They were poor going forward apart from the 2 goals they scored, which really should be enough 2-0 away from home to see the game out. But it was not a great performance from Liverpool. But they have these flashes of quality and they just they're never dead. They're never dead. They always find a way, and that is just the spirit of the football club. It's the spirit of the football club. It is. Last minute comebacks, not knowing when to give up, not knowing when to stop, coming through adversity, finding a way even though you're playing shit. It's all the hallmarks of champions. It's exactly why they are the champions. And it's frustrating to watch as a hater, who's someone who wants Liverpool to lose every single game, obviously, because you have to just admire it. You have to. You have to just admire it. Oh my days. I can't believe what I just watched. I ain't even got onto Newcastle United yet. I just got to do the Liverpool thing because they're the winners of the game. You know? Gravenberch was, he scores a good goal. Ekatike, you're thinking these men are just taking the piss out of Newcastle, putting their pants down. Ekatike was supposed to go there, didn't go there, scores. They've unsettled Isak. It's why the reason why they couldn't score for large parts of the night because they didn't have Isak, they didn't have a striker. Then the striker, that's the makeshift striker, gets sent off. You're just thinking it's going from bad to worse from Newcastle, and you're thinking Liverpool are just having it all their own way. Liverpool came straight out in the second half and got that goal with Ekatike. And again, very good goal. Good work from Cody Gakpo. You know? The first goal, good work. Is poor from a Newcastle perspective because they turned over the ball from a throw-in. But a good finish. So they got themselves into a calm position. But, I look at Konate, what was he doing? I look at Wirtz, what was he doing? I look at Kirkes, what was he doing? There were so many bad, performances that they just hung on by a thread. Szoboszlai did all right at right back, to be fair to him. Gravenberch was obviously did well. But Newcastle United were on them. And let's talk about Newcastle United. They deserve something out of that game. Unbelievable spirit from Eddie Howe's men. Unbelievable. And you got to take your hat off to them because let's have it right, yeah? All that's been making the headlines for Newcastle United is the fact that everyone's turning them down, is the fact that Isak wants out, and the fact that they've had a rubbish transfer window. When you look at the team that they actually have and some of the depth they're building, Aaron Ramsdale on the bench, Jacob Ramsey come off the bench, he's 40 million. Thiaw, I can't remember how you say his name, the new centre-back from AC Milan. And Anthony Elanga, he was unbelievable. At it, gave Kirkes nightmares the whole game. Dan Burn, unreal. Bruno Guimaraes, heart on his sleeve, he's Newcastle through and through. Joe Linton, at it. Livramento, at it. Shah, at it. All of them, to a man. And Anthony Gordon has let the whole team down. And for Newcastle United to even bounce back after what Anthony Gordon did, and he was playing really well as well, but just couldn't find the finishing touches, and he'll be so disappointed with that, because now they've got to go 3 games without a striker. Well, they need to buy one by then. The window will be shut by the time he comes back. They need to get a striker, whether that's Strand Larson or whatever. But Anthony Gordon absolutely fucked it by doing that. It was a disgusting tackle on Virgil van Dijk. Disgusting tackle. Lucky that some real damage wasn't done. Lucky that some real damage wasn't done. It was lucky that he managed to flip him, understand, like he wasn't seriously injured. I'm looking at the goal back again. Rio and Gamoa, 16. 16. The man's just done his GCSEs. What a time for his family. And I've seen some some of the highlights from him in pre-season where he's killing it. Saw him in a home game at Anfield. When I watched some of the highlights of Liverpool, keeping an eye on Liverpool, see what they were doing. Look at that. Full time. Newcastle United 10 shots, 3 on target. Liverpool 5, 4 on target. XG 0.93 for Newcastle, 0.70. Touches in opposition box, Newcastle more, 27-15. Crosses 24-9. Fucking hell. Mad. Newcastle led in near enough every metric apart from the scoreline and the card count in terms of a red card. If you're a Newcastle United fan, you've got to be proud of your team and what Eddie Howe's doing, because that was what I was going to say. No matter what's been going on with how crap it's been in the window for them and this, that, and the third, they have still found a way. They have still found a way to compete. You know what I mean? Tonali was another one, put his body on the line. Every single player. And actually, when they went down to 10 men, playing that 4-3-2 was the right move. He still kept basically 2 strikers up there in Harvey Barnes and Anthony Elanga, which still engaged the centre halves. It had to make them stay honest. Instead of he could have just done a 4-4-1 and leave a striker up there stranded. He didn't do that, Eddie Howe. He went for it, and the commitment that they showed that they're going to be all right this season, man. They're going to be absolutely fine, Newcastle United, because this is the thing, the spirit and the harmony inside the dressing room, that they're all pulling in one direction. I know Isak's not right now. They're all pulling in one direction. You have to take your hat off to them. You have to. But ultimately, they lost the game. And they lost the game because Liverpool just don't know when they're dead. They don't. Liverpool just don't know when they're done. They do not know. They never say die attitude. And that is from Arne Slot. Obviously, it's a Liverpool thing in itself. But you look at, to flip it, you look at the tragedy that Liverpool have been through. Look what's happened to them in the summer, with the loss of Diogo Jota. You just see that they're still a team. Yeah, they've got loads of teething problems. Kirkes, he's very, very shaky. They've got problems at the back. Konate, don't know what he's doing. Florian Wirtz's got to do more. There's a lot of improvement that needs to be made, but the camaraderie and togetherness in that squad is just there, and that's how they've won that game. Great advert for the Premier League, I'll say that. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. What a game. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.